What's up, everybody? This is Josh Red, Practical Theism. I'm about to head into work. Just doing a quick morning reflection. Sorry for not having a reflection the past 2 days. Some days when I get up, I do the daily readings or something, and I get into work and I'm like, I really don't know what to say. And so on those days, I figure it's better not to say anything. So anyways, today we're going through the Gospel of John chapter 5, and we hear the story about Jesus, and he's at the pool of Bethsaida, I think it is, Hebrew Bethsaida, and there's a pool with 5 porticos, and this is where all the ill, the lame, the maimed, the sick gather, and Jesus is walking through, and he comes across a man who's been ill for 38 years, and arguably his illness had something to do with his, ability to walk, because Jesus ends up healing him and says, rise, get up, walk, take your mat, go, right? And there's a lot that I think can be drawn from the passage. It also could be a bit, confusing in terms of what to draw from the passage, because I think there's a lot of different things that we look at. I think the primary thing, though, is what this tells us about Jesus and his ministry. Jesus is the great healer. He comes and came into this world to heal us from our illnesses. Now, we can look at the physical illness, but I think we also have to look at the spiritual illness primarily, because Christ is the meeting point between divinity and humanity. And so it shows on full display in stories like this his ability to perform miracles such as healing the sick and the ill. And I think it would behoove us to stop there if that was what his ministry was. It wasn't just to come down here and heal physical ailments, but it was also to heal the spiritual side and recommune us and give us the path back to full communion with God. And so whether it's, actual ailments, physical ailments, or whether you've been struggling with addictions, whether you've been addicted to alcohol, sex, pride, whatever it is, all the vices that pull us away from God, Jesus came down to heal us from those. In the measure that we take our illness to him, that is, and are open to actually being healed, he will allow us to be healed. Now, I don't want people to go thinking that, all you have to do is pray, and then for your physical illness to be, and all of a sudden it's cured. I don't think that's how the spiritual physics, as it were, work. But God's going to do one of two things. When you bring your illness to him, he's going to either heal it or he's going to transform it. There's countless, this is a great example in the passage of someone who had a physical illness and Christ came and actually healed him. I know a lot of people who have physical illnesses, and some people close to me, and no matter what they do, no matter what they pray, they don't seem to be able to get healed of their physical illness. And this might be a cause, and this might be not a cause, but this might be a situation where God's trying to transform it and use it for a different purpose. On the spiritual side, there is, when you bring your illness to God, there's same type of deal. He's either trying to transform it or he's going to heal it. And I think it's important that we understand that Jesus being the great healer, it doesn't always boil back to eliminating the thing, but it's awakening on the spiritual side for sure. It's awakening your soul. It's awakening your soul to allow yourself to draw into greater communion with God. And I think it's important that we see it from that perspective too, because if you look at all the stories of people who, this man was ill for 38 years, right? People are addicted to things for years upon years upon years, 38 years, 50 years, and then all of a sudden they have some sort of awakening to the life of grace and to Jesus and to God. And I think that is on full display. The power, the healing power of Jesus is when those awakening moments happen it's as if the scales fall off. Someone, I was lost and now I'm found. I was blind and now I see, right? We may be physically blind, but we may be spiritually blind too. And that usually comes from all the things of the world pulling us away and blinding us to the ways of God. God's ways are not our ways, and we have a tendency to compare them to our ways because in our finite capacity, all we know is what we know day in and day out. All we know is what's within our scope, and God's scope is so much bigger and grander than ours. So I think it's important that we look at it from that perspective, and we continue to take those challenges and those struggles to God, and we never stop. We're never fully there. We're never fully at the point where we could potentially be. And so it's important that we constantly and perpetually take all of our illnesses, whether physical or spiritual, and we bring them to God so that He can heal them or He could transform them. If you haven't already, hit that like button, pound the subscribe button like you mean it so you can get more of this awesome content. And until tomorrow, hopefully I have something thoughtful to say. We'll catch you next time.